Hey there, I'm Celine and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be doing my wrap up and haul for the month of June. Honestly, this is more so going to be a haul because I'm so sad to say I did not read this month. I did not read any fiction books or manga or like books for fun, let's say. The reading that I did do was fun, but just more life-giving, and I'll get into that. June has been kind of like a busy month. These next couple of months are probably, I might not even get reading done in July. I hope to, because Reckless comes out in July. I'm actually is it July 1st or 2nd today? It's either the 1st or the 2nd, and Reckless, the second book in the Powerless series, comes out this month, and so I might just like dedicate some time off from the work that I've been doing to just read that and like binge it probably in a day, because I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. So hopefully I get to that in July. But anyway, June, I did not get to read anything, but I figured that I would start sharing what I have read in my Bible every month. June, right around the beginning of June, I kind of came back around to reading my Bible daily, and just trying to really be proactive on getting out of a spiritual slumber that I was in. I feel like I can officially say now that I'm out of it, but there's definitely still work to be done. But anyway, I read through the book of Proverbs, and that was great. And sorry if I sound like weird, or I feel like if I sound like I'm struggling to talk. I'm currently sick, but I need to get through this right now, and so talking is just, it's kind of like tickling my throat, and I'm trying not to cough as much as possible. But anyways, I read the book of Proverbs. A lot stood out to me this time around. Proverbs is kind of a book that I tend to go back to when I don't really know what to read in the Bible. It's kind of like easy book for me to read and come back to, along with like the Gospels, but I decided to read Proverbs, and it was really good, and a lot really spoke to me while I was reading it, just because there are like a couple of things that I've been going through, and I just felt like I was reading just the message that I needed to read for the struggles that I've been trying to like break out of and things. So yeah, that was great. Proverbs is always really good, but this time around, I got so much from it. And this month I kind of unintentionally, and then it kind of intentionally turned into like a secular music, and media in general, a secular media fast. I just took like a break from that, unintentionally. I did not mean to not read any of my fiction books this month. I wanted to read so bad. Like, I want to read so bad, but I just like, when I read a book, when I start a book, I want to know that obviously things come up, but I want to know that the next like 2 to 3 days, I don't have a lot going on, so then I can really just process the story and read it quickly, just because I like to go through books like in 2 to 3 days if possible. And hopefully a book keeps my kind of attention that I'm able to do that. So technically I feel like I could have started books, but I just know that like if I started one right now, I wouldn't be able to dedicate time to it like in the evenings and then the next morning. I just have a lot going on and a lot to do. So with books, it was kind of unintentional. I would have read if I weren't as busy, but as far as like what I watched and what I specifically was intentional on was what I listened to music wise. I didn't really listen to a lot of podcasts, but I did like watch a lot on YouTube, like sermons. So I guess maybe you could consider that podcast. But YouTube, I really didn't watch any like of the other like miscellaneous things that I tend to watch, like other book videos and crafting videos and cooking videos, just because I like to actually watch those things. And I've just been kind of like listening into videos. So I've listened to a lot of sermons on YouTube. I discovered Vlad Savchuk this month, and he is absolutely, I was mind blown when I found him on YouTube. One of his videos came up on my recommended, like what to do while you wait as a single person, and that video just like something clicked in my brain that I was like, I've watched so many and listened to so many podcasts in that sort of category, because that's kind of something that I'm struggling with right now, is with my waiting season. It's like I just feel like nothing is changing, and it's been so long and nothing has changed, and here I am. I've been like praying, and then sometimes that spins me into like when nothing appears to be happening, I start like losing faith, and then just, you know, there's a whole rabbit trail that I could go down with that. But something about how he explained things, just like it clicks for me. So I really, really recommend him if you have not found him already. But anyways, I did watch one thing that is like in the secular world, media wise, and that was the new season of Demon Slayer. Oh my gosh. This season, it's kind of like a filler season, and if you know the Demon Slayer story, you know, but it was so good. I was expecting this season to be kind of like, like, okay, like it's the next step, like the ramp up for the conclusion and for things to really get real. But it's just kind of like one of those in between moments. But I really, really like this season, and toward like the last 2 episodes, oh my gosh, it's so different seeing it animated and in motion. It was so good. I am so excited for the next part of the story. I hear that they are going to do a trilogy of movies, which I am so thrilled about. But that was what I watched this month. But yes, for music, I took a break from secular artists as well, even though I've mentioned this in the past that I don't like listening to artists who use strong language in their music. Neither do I like music with just kind of like suggestive themes surrounding them. So while the secular music that I do listen to isn't necessarily bad, there's still a difference with you know, just what it draws your focus to. And so in that time at the beginning of the month, when I was really trying to pull myself out of a spiritual slumber, and when it was hard for me to be proactive and the first thing to be to open my Bible, I just found that it was a lot easier for me to gravitate towards that and have that be my first priority if I was also listening to worship music and hymns all of the time. So I will say in the month of July, it is the 2nd of July, the past 2 days I have started listening to more just like of my previous favorite songs, and just kind of catching up on some new music that has released. I do notice that there is a difference between the two genres. I noticed that even though I don't have myself on kind of like a secular music fast, just these 2 days, I'm like, I end up gravitating towards my worship playlist. Just kind of on my own. I'll start out listening to, like I've been listening to Daisy Jones and the Six so far this month. But then I end up just switching it to my worship playlist. So yeah. Anyhow, that is it for the wrap-up portion. Hopefully I can get through this haul portion because there's a lot, and I feel like I'm losing my voice slowly, little by little. So let's go ahead and get through this. Starting off, I did get a few Bibles. First one, this is just the New Testament. I really hope that I can find the Old Testament sometime soon. I might have to look for it online, but it would be really cool if I could find it in person. But this is the New Testament in English and Korean. So if you can see here, side by side, you have English on the side and then the same but just translated into Korean on the right. Or this was actually published by KBS, so I'm guessing that it was translated into English. I think that this was probably made for Koreans to then like learn English, not the other way around. Like I'm going to be using this. But I thought this was really cool, so I am so excited to have this. Second, this one is the Young Readers Bible, and this one I feel like it was really made for like younger kids, and I was gonna put this into my hope chest, but I decided that I want to look through it myself now. It has some illustrations, and at the beginning of every book there is an introduction to the book and like how this particular book kind of fits in with the chronological order and things like that. So this one is for like kids to read, but I feel like it's a really good teaching Bible because of how much like information there is in here. I feel like this would be really good for like families, like at home Bible studies. So this one is really cool. It's very large. I think this is my largest Bible now. It's kind of tied with this one. This one is a little bit smaller, but it is chunkier. And this one was gifted to me. My parents got this for me. This is I believe this is a NIV Bible, or no, this is a King James translation, and this is the Illuminated Family Edition. I am so excited for this one because at the beginning here, well, first off, the art in here is absolutely amazing. Like the art is from the medieval times, and just like all of the motifs and things are just so incredibly beautiful just all throughout. But what gets me excited about this is that this is meant to be like an heirloom Bible, which all Bibles can be heirloom, but this one specifically has a section for family records. So the first page in this section is for the marriages, and then we have the births, the baptisms, the deaths, and then we have our paternal ancestors. So you start with the father of the family, and then you just go way back. And then the same for the maternal ancestors. So I'm going to need my mom's help filling out some of this, because I know up to like probably up to my great grandmother and grandfather on my mom's side. But yeah, father's side, I don't know. And there's like, this goes way back. So this is gonna be exciting to fill out. So this one is really cool. And I can't wait to like hand this down someday. This actually, like on the main, like this Bible belongs to, this says presented to, it'll have my name in there, by my parents on the occasion of, there wasn't really an occasion for it, but there's also a section to fill in that says, and subsequently inherited by. So this will be handed down to my firstborn if I have children. So yeah, this one is so cool. Now moving on to more nonfiction. Those first three were the Bibles. I actually have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 nonfiction that I picked up this month. Starting off with this one. This is like teeny tiny, $3 on Amazon. I got recommended this by Ashley Hetherington. This is The Practice of the Presence of God by Brother Lawrence. This, I think, was just about how to identify God in your daily life, and just recognizing his presence in the little things. I believe that's what this book is about. Now, Brother Lawrence, I'm pretty sure, is Catholic, in the Catholic denomination, which something that Elizabeth Elliot said in a podcast episode, I don't remember which one, but she was like, don't let someone's denomination like restrict you from like turn you away from listening to them, because they might have some great spiritual wisdom, and if you just ignore them because of their denomination, you might be missing out on something really amazing. So while I, don't really align with the Catholic denomination, I do want to just listen to other perspectives and see if there might be some good spiritual nourishment. So I will be reading this one sometime soon, hopefully. Next, I have a book that I have been looking for, and I finally found it in person. This is Lady in Waiting by Jackie Kendall and Debbie Jones, and this is about becoming God's best while waiting for Mr. Right. So I'm really excited about this one. It's not like in the greatest condition, but it's not written in, which is good because this is like a journal and study guide. So I might be filling this in myself, but we will see. And next, I did find an Elizabeth Elliot book, which I'm always so excited when I find new ones. This is A Chance to Die, The Life and Legacy of Amy Carmichael. So she references Amy Carmichael a lot, just like in her like lectures and things. So I'm excited to finally be kind of reading more about Amy Carmichael from the perspective of Elizabeth Elliot. So this one was such a good find, and it's basically new, and the cover, this was priced for like $4. So I'm so happy about this one. Lastly, for the nonfiction, this is going in my hope chest. It's kind of similar to something that I picked up last month, and you might look at this and be like, what? I got mistaken when I was picking this up at a bookstore. This is a volume of What to Expect When You're Expecting, the classic pregnancy book, I feel like. Again, no, I'm not pregnant, but the lady at the checkout, she was like, "Are you expecting?" I was like, no, I'm not. So that was awkward, but you know, it's good to have this on hand, you know? So I just went ahead and picked this up because this was on the $1 cart. So I was like, for $1, this is like in brand new condition, I'm gonna pick it up. So this one is getting added to the hope chest along with the Little House on the Prairie. I started the collection on this. We have the Little House on the Prairie books, but I wanted to start collecting the books for like my own household. So this is, I believe this is the first book, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, Little House on the Prairie, and the start of the fiction section of this video. These next two will probably also be going into my hope chest. These are both by L.M. Montgomery. This one here is Kilmeny of the Orchard. This one is about like a teacher and a girl who is blind or deaf. She's either blind or deaf. So this one is a romance, and this one is as well. This is Emily's Quest. This one seems to be a pretty popular one, so I'm excited to read this one as well. This is a new, well, not new to me author that I will probably be reading all of her books, depending on how it goes, but she has a few books in particular that are like based on a true story with C.S. Lewis. As soon as I learned that, I was like, I need to find her books. And the original one that I wanted to find was Once Upon a Wardrobe, I believe. But the bookstore that I went to, they didn't have that, but they did have Becoming Mrs. Lewis. And literally in here, it's like, yes, that Mrs. Lewis, C.S. Lewis, Mrs. Lewis. So this one, I keep saying I'm so excited for these, but I'm so excited for this one. And it has serrated edges, which, if you know, that is a favorite around here. And it does have the French flaps too, so I love this. I guess we'll go with this one. We have The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. This is a newer release by Holly Jackson. This one sounds so interesting. This is kind of like a, well, this isn't a murder mystery, but it's like a crime mystery, like abduction or like disappearance. The reappearance of Rachel Price. No, we're dealing with somebody who has reappeared after they have disappeared. So there we go. I'm excited to read that one. Oh right, I probably should have mentioned this one after L.M. Montgomery, but I did get another Francine Rivers books. I now have 4. Have I read any of them? No, but I will soon. But I got the classic Redeeming Love. I finally found one in good condition. So this one I got at Goodwill. This is like basically new, and this was $4. So I was like, you know what? I'm glad that I waited, and now I finally have Redeeming Love, and I will read this eventually. Next is one that I picked up in my local little free library. This is Alibi in Arkansas, and I guess this is a series, and this is the first one. This is like truly like American fiction. Like, it's two sisters find love and unearth mystery in small town America, and that speaks to my heart. Okay, that's the way to my heart. And so I'm excited for this, but we'll see how it goes. It's quite beat up. It's got a cracked spine, which is a first in my collection. Usually I stay away from books that have cracked spines, but this just sounded so interesting, so we'll see how it goes. And then we have a book by an author that I read I think in May. William Kent Kruger. This is This Tender Land. I read Ordinary Grace. That was the first book that I read by William Kent Kruger, and I found this one, and this is like his best-selling book, so I'm really excited to read this one. Also, eventually, my TBR is ridiculous right now. I really need to get to reading, but I just don't have the time right now, and I'm so sad. But lastly, I have a whole stack of books to show you, but I'm not gonna bring them up here. Maybe I'll bring one just to kind of show you, but I'll take a picture and like insert it here of all the books that I have from this author. I was gifted all these by my mom. As you can see, it's Danielle Steele. I feel like she's an author that is seen as like, she was popular back in the day. I've never read anything by Danielle Steele, but I guess why I have an interest in reading her work is because my maternal grandmother, who is no longer earthside, she used to read Danielle Steele, I guess, and it's partially how she learned to speak English, and so I'm really interested to see what my grandma used to read. So I'm back. I'm just slowly dying over here. So I'm excited to get to read Danielle Steele. I've got, I think, 10 of her books now, so I will work on continuing this collection. But for now, I've got those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 of Danielle Steele's older books. But that is it for this video. I'm going to go ahead and rest my voice and just try to calm it down. I'm gonna go make some tea, and anyhow, I have another video planned for this channel this month, but we'll see if I get around to it. I also want to do a reading vlog for Reckless. If I do get to read that this month, I want to do a reading vlog and just like reaction of it, because I'm sure it's gonna be absolutely insane. So we'll see. But for now, I'm just going to say bye before I start dying again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you are doing well. Bye for now.